Myself, Amita Tiwari from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology from IIT department. I am going to take a session from the subject that is computer vision. Subject code is 3171614. The module that I am going to cover for this session is module number 3. In that, the module name is feature detection. In that, we are going to do the topic that is shape context descriptors and active counters. So basically, this is the last topic of this module, that is feature detection. Starting with the first topic that we are going to study, that is shape context descriptors. Before studying what is shape context descriptors, we need to understand the idea behind taking the shape context. So basically, when we talk about shape, the main idea is to it's quite simple. That is build histogram that is based on points in polar coordinate system. Now, polar coordinate system, we already know x and y coordinates that we have for a particular point. So whenever we talk about histogram, we are having the histogram equalization graph, which is based on the color model that we are using it. If I am using RGB color model, the three waves we will be having, that is R, G and B. It will be showing you in the form of signals that will be having in the form of waveforms as an input, and will be giving the output when the forms is discrete, or in the forms when the points are linear. So basically, this is the point whenever we talk about the shape context. So for each point that you need just to know the transformations, we already studied the three types of translations. A transformation, that is translation, Euclidean translation and affine. So basically, when we see each point at a particular place in a particular object, so we need to just get Euclidean distance that we need to calculate for that particular object, and the angles against each and every point that we consider it. So now means the understanding point of view where the point exists, and norm them, and based on the long space mapping, that is log space mapping that we have for the count number of points that is occurring in each map region. And that's all. Means whenever we are considering the Euclidean distance with respect to rotation, with respect to translation, we need to calculate the distance, the angles at each and every point that we are considering it. We have to norm them, and then based on the log space map, count the number of points that occurred in each of the region that we have made it. Means we have partitioned it. So to make these things, that is rotation, that is invariant I, we will prefer to just rotate this map on a minus angle, okay, between two most further points, but it can be done in other ways too. Not only making a rotation in the minus angle, we can also do things like rotation in an invariant or the variant proportion as well. So here is the diagram. As you can see, we are having a particular angle, and with particular that angle we are having the object, and with respect to that we have made different regions. Okay, means this object is here. Okay, as you can see in this whole criteria, whole image view plane, we are having object at only some of these sectors. So we have distributed that sectors, and we will be counting only those sectors where that image is converged. So with respect to that image converged at a particular sectors, we will be counting that, and with respect to that distance, we will be finding out the grayscale black and white proportion in a particular log. So that is the log entry that we can see. With respect to that, the sectors you can see that we have counted for the image which is partitioned, okay, in the sectors, and the sectors in which the image is converged. So that only we have taken as a sector, and with respect to that we have taken that points with respect to grayscale. Okay, so this can be done in many ways too. First of all, like take an example, like set the number of radius points. How we will be dividing that sector? So these are the computing part. How it will be done? So shape context computing involves the first, as an example, set number of radius segments and angles segments. That is the standard setting that you make it. First of all, n means that is r, making the value as 5. N means theta as an parameter that you are taking as a 12. R inner, in the inner proportion that you are taking at 0.1250, and the R outer which you are taking as 2.0. So these are the different values that you are taking it for making a set of number of radius segments and the angles. So here the second example here we can see as in calculating the distance between the points and normalizing them by the mean median that we are taking it in a particular object. So also get 2 of the points with maximum distance that we can do it. So whenever we are calculating is t points, we are taking the first of all the length of the points. Then the distance that we have to calculate. How we will take it? We will take each and every point. So we will take it in a array form. So R array is equals to C distance points and points x and y value. Getting the 2 points with the maximum distance to norm angle that is by them. Then this is needed for the rotation invariant feature that we are doing it for the Euclidean transformation. Then AM, we are taken an variable where we are defining this array with the argument that is max value, that is R, that is array dot argument max. When the maximum value will be taken with respect to each and every array, and the max points will be given to as m divided by t points that we already have taken out, that is length, and which has been percentage, that is modulo with the am which we have already defined it out here, okay, here only, and then percentaging with the t point, that is that length, total length. So two of the things, dividing it and making percentage of it, so normalizing the image. So R array, we can say of n, it is equals to R array upon R array dot mean. Now computing the shape difference and cost matrix. Now with respect to that, we are having a particular formula, okay. So by paper, for counting the cost matrix, we should use Pearson's chi-squared test, okay. It's a particular test which is defined with the formula that is C of ij, which is equal to C P of I comma Q of j with the two values x and y, which is equal to 1 by 2 sigma, that is k equal to L till k, and which is defined with hi of k minus hj of k whole square, h divided by hi of k plus hj of k divided by, okay. So this is the particular formula for finding, particularly counting, that is cost matrix, okay, for a particular shape difference. So to get the point to point matching, we should solve the linear sum assignment problem, which is not fast as theta, that is theta of n cube, but we can also use cosine distance, which is more faster than the sine function, okay. So this is what the thing is with respect to the computing shape and difference. So here in an example of point to point matching, as you can see here, A, okay, with respect to A, if you are taking a match, see how the example goes. Then we are point to point matching, means this A will be taken with the third A that you can see here, and the another, that is B value, which is taken with respect to A value. So it will be matching, but it is not matching, okay. How we will make it with respect to A? So we will do the point to point matching, means we are creating putting the points, means pixel plotting. When the pixel plotting is done, with respect to that, we will be matching the values, okay. Means this value with compared to this value which is already given in an original format. After that, it goes like different patterns will be created with respect to the different points with respect to the grid lines that we are using it by putting the x and y value, okay. So these are the points that we need to keep in mind whenever we are talking about the computing, that is what shape differences and the cost matrix that we are taking it. So here it is with respect to the point pixel position that we are taking it into consideration. As you can see in the third diagram, A and B is also superimposed on it, okay. The fourth diagram also, A is there and B is superimposed on it. So that with respect to that, how this image is being captured, how that values is being taken, and how this point or pixel plotting is being placed. So these are the different criteria that we have in order to understand for a particular cost matrix, okay. Means for a particular point plotting that we are taking it, okay. So these are the different forms for the same cost matrix itself. Now we'll talk about the active contour based segmentation. Active contour, this we will be going to learn in the next chapter in a theoretical base, in the depth, but here only the introduction part is there. So as the name implies, this method facilitates first of all the active detection of the sensorous, okay, cells from the non-sensorous cells in the pre-sensorous stage itself, okay. Means the previous stage that we have, we will be bifurcating the detection based on two of the categories, that is sensorous cells and from non-sensorous cells. So the sensor that is affected region can be effectively tracked, that is, it's not cancer, it's sensor, by using deformable, that is contours that can change shape and also the location depending on the need, okay. So the important highlight of this method is that it is capable of producing accurate segmentation even from the images that is corrupted with the noise, okay. So whenever we talk about the different images, an active contour, we can say it is a set of points which aims to enclose a target feature, the feature that is to be extracted. Also, it is a bit like using a balloon, that is to find a shape, we can say, where the balloon is placed outside the shape and enclosing it. So this is what the thing is with respect to active contour. It is a set of points which will be aiming to enclose a target feature, the feature which is to be extracted. So it is a bit like finding a balloon like shape inside, whether the balloon is outside. So here the balloon will be outside the shape and we are making it, okay, that is enclosing it. So then by taking air out of the balloon, means the balloon is filled, and making it smaller, the shape is found. When the shape stops shrinking, okay, this is an example, when it fits to the target shape, okay, what we are doing it, we are making the balloon, we are filling the air into it, and then we are targeting on a particular shape, and then we are making the balloon out, and then placing the shape on it till the balloon shrinks, and then it fits to the target shape. So by this manner, the active contours that will arrange a set of points so as to describe a target feature by enclosing it. So an initial contour is placed outside the target feature, and then it is then involved as to enclose it. So the process which is illuminated as I will be showing you in the figure, where the target feature is the parameter of the iris, and first the initial contour is placed outside the iris. Iris is there, your eye is there, iris is there. With respect to that, the contour is placed outside your iris. Okay, then the contour is minimized to find the new contour which shrinks as it comes closer to the iris. Okay, then with respect to the shrinkage, after 7 iterations, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the contour points can be seen to match the iris parameter, means the iris is there, the total parameter, means it will be exact at that parameter value. Okay, so here as you can see, the initial contour which we have taken as an eye, it will be outside. Okay, totally the points are outside. Okay, the total iris, and then after the first iteration, as you can see, it has come shrinked somewhat inside. Then as you can see, after 4 iterations, you can see the points are totally on the boundary of it, and then after 7 iterations, as you can see, it is totally on exact inside and totally on the iris pattern itself. So these are the active contour based techniques that we are using it. Iterations we are taking it, first iteration, second iteration, third iteration, fourth iteration, and likewise the iteration goes. Okay, so this is what active contour based segmentation that we have. So active contours are actually expressed as an energy minimization process that we have. So the target feature is a minimum of a suitably formulated energy, we can say functional. So this energy functional includes more than just only edge information. Okay, it includes properties as well that control the way the contour can stretch and curve. So accordingly, the energy functional is the addition of a function of the contour's internal energy, its constraint energy, and the image energy, which can be found where they are denoted by EINT, E-con, and E-image respectively. These are the three ways in order to calculate any of the contour values. And with respect to that, we have finished with the 2 of the topics, and we can say this is the last topic of this session, that is chapter module 3, that is feature reduction. And here we have completed with this chapter. We will be going to start with the next chapter in the next session. Thank you.